Si quieren asistir a este video en español, clic en el link en la descripción.
Hello everyone, this is Thalles from Plugin, and today we're bringing you guys a 2022 Honda HRV lane departure calibration. First of all, if you guys would like to watch this same video in Spanish, my partner Fernando, he made this whole video in Spanish, so you guys can check this out on the link that is attached on our description. And also, if you guys like this type of content, and we're bringing some type of knowledge for you guys or sharing our information, if you guys appreciate it, please click on the like button. And if you guys want to keep watching our videos, make sure that you subscribe to our channel so you don't lose any video. We are posting videos here daily. And also, if you have any comments or if you want to interact with us, always the comments are right there for you to write any message for us. We will read and answer it, every single message, um, because the goal of this channel, me and Fernando, we created these channels to share with you guys some knowledge about ADAS calibration, because we noticed that there's not much of these on the internet where you can search and help you to troubleshoot whenever you are encountering some problem. So this is why we are making this, and we want to create a community in this big environment of ADA system, which is always evolving and getting more and more things to add up to. Also, as you guys know, most of the cars here in the US, most not. I believe that 100% of the cars that are being manufactured in this year has at least one ADAS feature on its car. Okay, so with no more saying, let's jump into the video. So here it's me calibrating this 2022 Honda HRV, and here is just me introducing, because me and Fernando, so we can keep on track, you always say the date we are filming and the year, make, and model of the vehicle, so we can be on schedule. So here it's telling, oops, sorry, let me put on full screen here. Sorry guys, my bad. So here is showing the reason why we are going to perform the calibration. The windshield was cracked, it was replaced, and now I will perform the calibration because the windshield was replaced. Okay, so let me advance this part. And here, as you guys can see, is the blue tape, and here's where the camera is located. Okay, all right, here is just me telling that the blue tapes are for keeping the windshield at the right spot until you wait that the glue dries. Okay, so you don't move. So let me jump to the next part. And just as a disclaimer, I will advance the parts that are not important or relevant for this video, just to make it more dynamic, because it's a long video. For these specific cars, it's a dual calibration, which you need to perform static and dynamic. And there is a lot of that part that I'm just driving the car or doing grabbing tools or rearranging things. So just to keep it more dynamic, I will be advancing and just focusing on which is more relevant for this video in particular. Okay, so let's advance this. And then right here, I'm on the tablet. All right, I'm trying to like put this better so you guys can see. So here the VCI already detected the VIN number of the vehicle. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm going to hit this little button right here in order to have access to the pre-scan menu. All right, and here is asking what will be the name of the file that we will name this file, let's say, because this will generate a report of the full job you did, and you have to give a name to this report. Me and Fernando, we always put the license, dash, and the date we performed the calibration, okay? And then, so you guys don't need to see this. This is just me putting the numbers, and now it detected the VIN. And now I was trying to check the brightness. Let me advance it here. And here, first of all, it's asking the country or the area where this car is being used. So I'm gonna select USA. And then it detected automatically that it was an HRV and the year was 2022. Okay, let's hit OK. And then I'm gonna perform the pre-scan, so I'm gonna click on this button right here. All right, and then now it's loading. Okay, it's taking a while to load. Let me see if I can advance. Oh, let me go back a little bit. My bad. Sorry, guys. So here is the screen that shows after it is load. And then I'm gonna click on the fold scan button, which will diagnose the full functionalities of this vehicle. Okay, so hit there, and here are some information that are needed in order to do the pre-scan. So you ask it for the license plate, and some vehicles doesn't show you the odometer, so you need to put this manually. So you always can go to the cluster of the car and check it. And some they don't give you the year as well, so you need to be aware and check on the sticker where is located the VIN number. You can see which year the car was produced. Okay, so here I will write down the license. You guys don't need to see that. And here is doing the pre-scan. Let me see if I can advance this a little bit. All right, a little bit more. Still doing. All right, let me. Once it finished, it's showing all the errors on the car. So what I'm gonna do right now was just checking what was going on. Um, and then I'm gonna hit this button right here, which is a little icon. Just as a disclaimer, I did the pre-scan on the pre-scan menu, and we are not able to perform the post-scan while you are on. Oh, my bad. You are not able to perform the ADAS calibration while you are on the pre-scan menu. So that's why I needed to exit the pre-scan menu, and then I will have access to the post-scan menu later on. Okay, so I'm gonna click it, and then there's a pop-up asking if you are sure that you want to exit. I'm gonna hit yes. And then here's showing all the previous jobs we have done. The first one is the last one we did. If you click on the big square, it's gonna give you access to another page. And then on this other page, that's gonna be a blue button on the right top corner telling diagnostic. On this, you can have access to the post scan menu, or you can have access this directly from this button right here. Okay. So here I selected the big square, and then I'm gonna click on this button that I just talked to you guys about. Okay, HRV. There we go. And then This is loading. So now we are on the post scan menu. You guys cannot see it really well here because of the lights, but here's written post scan. But first of all, we are going to access this ADAS calibration menu right here. Let me advance it. Click there. And then it's asking if the car is on shift to park or neutral. Cars already is. And it's asking if you have the lane watch system on the passenger side mirror. Some Hondas has it, some doesn't. For the purposes of calibration, you if you type yes, the car will just give you a no response if the car doesn't have it. It won't fire up an error or anything. It's just that the car will say like, "Oh, you're no." The tablet will answer you like, "Oh, you told me that the car has, but I couldn't detect it." That's all. So if you are not sure how to check it, it's on the passenger side mirror. You're gonna see a little camera. But if you don't want to check it, you can just hit yes. If the car has it, you will detect. If the car doesn't have it, you will not detect it. That's no a big deal. Okay. So in this case, I clicked on yes, and then now it's processing it. Let me advance this part a little bit more. And now we are on the ADAS menu. And here is showing all of the ADAS systems that we have on this car. So what I'm gonna do is hit full scan to have a full scan of the ADAS menu, okay? So I'm gonna advance this part because this is just scanning and loading. So no response, no response. And oh, this is gonna be a good example to show you guys. So as you guys can see right here on the lane watch system, I selected yes, but there's this little sign which is an exclamation sign showing what that means is that, oh, you said that you have it but we couldn't detect it. That's it. That's the only thing you got. So now there's a full scan on integrated driver support system, which is the one that we're gonna to calibrate. um, then I'm gonna hit erase codes just to make sure if these codes are permanent or not. And then we got past no fault. But anyways, I'm gonna perform the calibration because we have this windshield replaced. Okay, so I'm gonna hit on this little target right here. And here, as it is an integrated drive support, is showing both cruise control here, the cruise control symbol, and like a vision of a lane camera in front of the car with a little car and like a range of the vision of a camera because this is integrated. So the lane camera communicates with the cruise control. So whenever you have a problem on each one, when we're talking about Hondas, the other one will not work until you fix the other one, okay? So I'm gonna hit on this little target right here, and then it's communicating. So now what I'm gonna do, either radar calibration, we can do either radar or camera calibration, but as we replace the windshield, I'm gonna perform the camera calibration. So okay, the reason why it's because we replaced the windshield. So I'm gonna choose this option right here, hit OK. And here is asking with which targets I have. I'm gonna use the letter B, so that's what I'm gonna select. There is a difference for the sides of the shops, so you're gonna use A if you have a reduced space, because as you guys gonna see, there is a lot of space needed between the target and the vehicle. Or if you have more space, you can use this one, which is more recommended. Okay, so this is the one that we're gonna use. And also the target is bigger, so let me select. Oh, I wanted to make sure that I have the right target there, so I just grab it, and now I'm gonna select. Oops, let me see here what I'm gonna select, and let's zoom in. B, and then now it's asking which measurement tool I'm gonna use. Even though I have tape measurement and laser measurement, I'm gonna choose tape measurement, but I'm gonna use each one. It's easier for me for each type of situation. Me and Fernando, we work on a lot of cars, and sometimes it's better to use only the tape because it's easier, it's faster. Sometimes it's better to use the laser because it's easier and faster. This will not change the calibration because the measurement or the values that you're gonna measure are always gonna be the same. Okay, will always be the same. Sorry. Okay, and here's just a summary of the targets and tools that you're gonna need to use. Here's just that telling that you need a lot of space in front of the vehicle in order to perform this calibration. And here is just a setup or requirements that you need to do. If you guys want that we make a video about these requirements and talking about it point by point, please leave a comment so we can bring this type of content for you guys. Oh, sorry, my battery. All right. So I'm gonna hit OK. Oh, actually, I'm gonna hit setup because if I hit OK, I will not be able to check the distance that I need from the car and other informations that are very important for the car for placing the frame at the right place. So always for placing the frame, you're gonna hit on setup and you're gonna know the values and everything. So here, first of all, it's telling me to put everything back to the origin position because every time if you're doing calibrations on different cars, you might forget to adjust it back to the origin point, and then you're gonna have wrong measurements and your calibration will not be performed well. So always is good before everything else, set up everything back to the point zero position, okay? The origin position. So let me zoom out so you guys can see better what I'm doing. So here, as you guys can see, this little arrow right here needs to be aligned to a little line that we have right here with another line that we have right here. This should all be aligned, and there's two little marks right here that also needs to be aligned. This is for the angle of the frame, okay? All right. Cool, everything is on the origin position. Then I'm gonna hit next. Then here's telling me to put the frame in the middle in a position which the laser is pointing the middle of the car. That's what I'm doing right now. Let me go a little bit, as you guys can see there. And then here is telling the distance from the front of the car. Oh, my bad. From the middle of the front wheel all the way to the back of the frame. Okay? So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna arrange the frame on this distance from the vehicle. So let me advance this part. I'm gonna grab this target that I'm gonna use to point the laser. Let me advance it. Okay. Then I'm just bringing it to a place where it's gonna hit the target, and I'm gonna move it down so it's the laser is on the same heights of the targets that I need to point into. So let me advance this part. And perfect. Right now I'm trying to measure the right distance, which is 6,110 millimeters, just as a reminder. All right, I need to bring backwards. Let me advance it. And as you guys can see right here, the laser is pointing right to the middle of the car. Not the exact middle, but close enough. And then right here at this point, I realized that the distance where I parked the car was too close and I wasn't able to get the maximum distance that was needed. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna move the car backwards in order to have a good distance. So let me advance this part. So let me go here and advance. Here I'm moving the car back, putting back the targets, and now rearranging the frame. So here I'm just trying to get a good and accurate distance. And I believe that I got a pretty good value already. So I'm gonna rotate two bolts that are here on the back. There looks like the same as these bolts. That's gonna fix the frame to the floor, okay? And make it not move while you're arranging other stuff. So let me advance this part. Okay, so as you guys can see here, I got 6,112. It's 2 millimeters more, but it's on the tolerance range, so we are good to go. Perfect. Let me advance it. And then I'm gonna use the wheel clamps to perform this calibration. My advice is to always use the wheel clamps when you are performing a calibration on a Honda, because this is two steps calibration, and the first step is just so the lane camera can have a reference for where the lanes should be. If the lanes are on the right position and everything is good, perfectly measured, the second step, which is the dynamic calibration, more will be performed more effectively, and you're gonna have less time driving. We had situations where we had to drive Hondas and Acuras for over 1 hour in order to perform the second part of the calibration. So as more accurate you do the first part, you're gonna have less time driving the car, okay? So that's why use the wheel clamp so you can have an accurate measurements, and you're not gonna regret while you're doing the dynamic part of the calibration, okay? So right now I'm gonna grab the wheel clamps and do all the steps that wheel clamps required. So here I'm grabbing the tool. I'm gonna advance this part. So I'm just open up this. Then I'm putting the wheel clamp on the passenger side right here, as you guys can see. All right, just making sure that it's well attached. And then I'm gonna grab the second one and put on the left side. So, all right, perfect. Sorry. There we go. I'm just Now what I'm gonna do is that I'm going to point the laser that goes, let me get a better frame, the laser that comes from this ruler from on the wheel clamps, pointing all the way. Oh, I cannot see from here. Let me see if I can. Here. This laser that is pointing from here goes all the way to the ruler, okay, on the frame. So let's pointing at. All right, I don't know if you guys can see, but the laser is right here. Perfect. And then the other side, I will do the same. So the laser will point here, as you guys can see. Perfect. Now I'm gonna check the values. So what I need to do is that I need that the values on both sides, we need it to be the same. But there's a problem. On the frame, you can only arrange 50 millimeters to one side and 50 millimeters to the other side. So if you have any value that is more than that, it's better to do it again manually, and then you can do on the bolts that are located on the frame, okay? So I'm gonna check right now. You see, I don't know if you guys can see, but here is pretty close to zero. It's really far right here. And here it's pretty close to 200. So we have a big difference between the two values of the ruler. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to arrange it manually in order to have a closer value so I can adjust with this bolt right here in the middle of the target and not needed to arrange it manually. So I'm going to advance this part a little bit, okay? All right, so I'm going to put the target again and then go back because I want the distance to keep accurate. So I'm just gonna move it to the side a little bit. I'm just checking. So need to move to the left side and arrange it to in order to point to the middle. Then I'm checking the values. As you guys can see right here is 1. I'm just moving a little bit more. And then now we're good. So I'm gonna just turn the bolts to the right again. And yeah, let's keep it going. Let me advance it. Oh, let me go back just a little bit so you guys can see. Here is the final value that I'm having. So, all right. Oops. Sorry, guys. I always get confused with this control. All right. So now what I'm going to need to do is to adjust this value and this value in order for them to be the same. Okay. So I'm let me hear here. I think I got 115 on one side, 115. So I got 115 and 145. So 45 plus 15 is 60. So we have 260. I will need 130 on both sides. What I do is that I sum up both values and then I divide it by 2. Then I will have the average of these two values, which will be the value that I need, okay? So let me move this to the side. All right. So right now I got the same value on both sides. Now I'm gonna just put the mirror, which will reflect the laser that are coming from the wheel clamps. Let me zoom this in. All right. And then let me get the mirror on the other side. And also, I will need to put these mirrors at the same height of where the wheel clamps lasers are. So in the middle of the two of the wheels. Okay. So I'm just gonna adjust the height. All right. Let me advance it. Okay. Now I'm just gonna point the laser all the way to the mirror and the mirror will bounce it back to the wheel clamp so I can have the values or the measurement and see if the angle is right, okay? Because sometimes you can park the car a little bit pointing to the sides, so it's good to always have your frame matching the same angle where your car is parked, okay? So let me advance it. I'm just pointing the wheel clamps to the mirror, and I'm sorry. Here I will do the same thing. Let me go back. All right. Oh, and right here I'm already seeing the laser pointing back to the ruler, okay? That's good. All right. What I'm gonna need to do is to adjust the angle so it goes the same value on both sides of the wheel clamps. So let me advance this. And then I'm gonna use this little bolt right here in order to adjust the angle of the frame, okay? All right, let me go. I'll go back and check it. So here I'm reading the values. So on one side I'm having between 4 and 4.5. And at the other side, it's right here. So we have 13 on one side and between 4 and 4.5. So to make it easier, 4 on one side, 13 on the other side, we will have 17. So we will need something around 8.5 millimeters on both sides, okay? Sum up, divided by 2, you get the average. All right. So now I'm going to move the bolts in order to get the right angle until the point you reach the value I'm looking for. So on the other side, I got between 8.5 and 9. And in this side, so here we are around between 8.5 and 8. So I wasn't like very happy with this value, so I just move it a little bit to the other side. So I'll move it back, and then I'm gonna read the values again, okay? Cool. Let me just zoom it out and have a better. So right here, as you guys can see, almost 8.5 I'm having on this side. And on the other side, which is right here. And on the other side, I'm having the same, almost 8.5. So we have good values. The angle is arranged. Perfect. The more working part we've done, which is placing the frame. Now we're going to just place the targets on the frame and perform the static calibration. So here is telling just all the steps that I've just told you guys. So I'm gonna hit exit, and now I'm gonna hit OK because I already finished the setup of the frame, okay? And then here is just telling like if the calibration frame is already placed properly, press OK to continue the calibration. So that's what I'm gonna do right here. And then now it's telling me which target I'm gonna need to use, okay? So what I'm gonna do is that I'm going to grab the target. All right. So in this case, I know you guys, maybe you guys have watched some other videos that we made, and we usually put these type of targets right here on this big frame that is on top. But in this case, for these Hondas, we will place the target where we are supposed to put the targets for calibrating the radar. Okay, this is an adaptation. Before, Honda used the Altel used the smaller version of the tablet, and we got a lot of problems performing calibration. So what Altel did is that they tried to make a bigger target and find a way to put it on the frame just to make it easier for the technicians to perform this calibration. So we didn't have these targets here before. So at first, when we first got it, we only have the older tablet, which was the one that I used to calibrate and made me drive an Acura MDX for over 1 hour. So with this one, the calibration is more well performed. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. Perfect. And then this. Now it's telling me the height, so I will need to put this on 950 millimeters at the A side of the ruler. So as you guys can see right here, so that's what I'm going to do. First of all, place the ruler touching the ground and then move your bolt all the way to where you need to place the height of your frame. So I'm moving this all the way up. Let me advance this a little bit more, because I need to move like the maximum amount that it can go. So let me just advance a little bit, because I will have to do it for a little bit longer, and right now I'm checking the value. Oops. Um, Sorry guys, we had a little problem right here. Now we're good. All right, so here it is at the right place, pointing on the A side, which is this side right here, 950. You guys cannot see, but believe me, it's 950. So, all right, everything is good. And now what I need to do is to adjust this bubble level in order to the bubble be right in the middle and the frame is set to the good level, okay? So, oh, looks like it was good already, so perfect. Couldn't see. So I hit it, okay. Let me go. Now it's asking me the distance from the ground all the way to the arc on top of the wheel. So that's what I'm gonna measure. Let me go back, zoom out a little bit. All right, I will measure the driver's side. So I got 705 on the, I wanted to double check. 707 actually. And then 707 and 710. Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna just put right here the values 710 and hit OK. And then it's giving me the feedback from the distance from the ground all the way to the arcs. And then now it's telling me to place the target at the first position, which is right in the middle. Okay. All right, just wanted to make sure if it was at the right place. And it was, actually it was, perfect. So I'm gonna hit OK, and now it's performing the calibration on the center, and now it's telling me to move to the driver's side 1200 millimeters, so that's what I'm gonna do. Let me advance this part, as you guys are seeing there. Oops, Just wanted to make sure that the tablet didn't drop, right, Fernando? Fernando is concentrated on something else. No, nothing. Just want to ask you I wanted to make sure if the tablet didn't drop.
Drop the tablet.
Yeah. And then let me go back. I'm sorry, guys. Here, it's asking me to put the target on the passenger side, 1200 millimeters as well. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. This is the third step of the calibration. Perfect. And then let me hit OK. All right. And perfect. Right now, ooh, let me go back. Just a little bug, guys. It always happens in the best families. So the operation has been successfully so good. We did the first part of the calibration, which is the static one. Right now, what we're gonna need to do is to drive the vehicle in order to perform the second step of the calibration. Okay, so I'm gonna hit OK. I first took a screenshot and I hit OK. And as I know I will need to drive the car, I'm already removing the wheel clamps, okay? Let me advance this part because it's just me taking off the wheel clamps. And perfect. Right now, I'm go back to the tablet. I'm gonna hit OK. And now it's asking me to turn the ignition off. So I'm going inside the car and I will turn the ignition off. And then it's asking me to hold, to wait, still. And then now it's asking me to turn the ignition back on. I will turn the ignition back on. And then it's asking me again to turn the ignition off. They want to make sure. So I'm turning it off. And now it's asking me again to turn ignition on. So I will turn it back on. So now is, do you want to start this test? Yes, for sure. That's what I'm here for. So I'm gonna hit OK. And now it's telling me that I'm gonna need to drive the car. So choose to drive on a straight road, flat road, and all the requirements to perform a dynamic calibration. Okay, I'm gonna hit OK. Don't worry that much about these requirements because every time you're not matching this, the calibration will stop and then you are back to matching it. It will keep going on. Okay. So let's hit OK, at least for these Hondas right here. So now it's telling me to start driving my vehicle, okay? So dynamic camera in progress. Keep driving until the calibration is completed. All right. Let me move it forward. And as you guys can see right here, let me see. There is a little square here with a cam, a letter cam, word cam showing on. And what we're gonna need is that while we are driving, is gonna show an LKAS right here on the other side of this box. We need this to keep showing while you are driving and showing and hold it for a while because this is meaning that the camera is detecting the lanes, okay? So that's what we're gonna look for. All right, let me advance this part. So I'm just driving the car. Let me go forward. So I just want to advance to some point that I'm on the freeway and see if we can see the feedback. See right here is still with the cam on, blinking. Oops. Here. Oh, I'm not on the freeway still, so let me advance a little bit more. And now I'm gonna get the freeway. So probably we're gonna see something different. All right. Okay. And then let me just try to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it better. Okay, yeah, we will not be able to see, but believe me, that is will show an LKAS when the camera is detecting the lanes. Oh, it's here, right here. So here is the cam and here is the LKAS. So this is meaning that the camera is detecting the lanes, and that's what we are aiming for while we are driving the vehicle. So always try to keep your driving good on the straight road, because this is the feedback that the camera is checking the lanes. Okay, so I will advance this part that I'm driving, and which I drove all the way to the another video. So let me go a few. Oh, here, as you guys can see, is detecting the LKAS and the cam. LKAS. All right, still showing, and boom, right at this point, let me go back. Here is showing LKAS, and then if I move a little bit to the side, right here, still, and then at this point right here, when stop to show the square and start to show this, the calibration was performed. So good, we're good. We now just need to bring the car to a safety stop in order to perform what the tablet is asking us to do. So I will move it forward until the point I'm not driving anymore. So here I'm driving back. Okay. All right. So I was trying to show you guys, but you will not be able to see. But now the tablet is asking me to turn off the ignition. And while I was driving, I already took a screenshot from the successful calibration. So I'm gonna turn the ignition off, and then back on, as you guys can see here. And perfect. Now I'll go back, and we have no fault, which means that the calibration was performed well. Right now, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do a pulse scan right here, and then it will do a full scan of the car. Let me advance this part that is just communicating. And then I hit it. Fault scan, which was right here. Now it's saying pause, but it's scanning. Oops. It's scanning the vehicle. So as you guys can see here. And then let me advance. Here we are about 58%. It takes a while to do the pulse scan on Hondas. All right. Oh, we're 87, 91, 100%. Now it's asking if I want to attach any photos. I will attach the pictures that I took, the screenshots I took while I was performing the calibration. Then I will hit this icon right here to save the report, and then I will exit the post scan menu. So that's gonna be all for today. This is how you calibrate a 2022 Honda CRV. If you guys like this video, please click on the like button. If you have any questions about calibrating this car, please leave a comment below for us. And also, if you want to check out these videos and the other videos that we are going to bring you guys, please subscribe to our channel. Me and Fernando, we have an Instagram account. So if you got like this type of videos but on a shorter version, check out our Instagram. Mine is Thalles Yuri _plugin. Fernando's is Fernando Ramb _plugin. Uh, Thank you guys so much for watching. As a reminder, always stay plugged in. I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.